Hey y'all, so this is my review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 13 Reunion Part 2. Now, if you noticed last week, I wasn't too mad at Part 1, so yeah, let's see what Part 2 has to offer. So we open up the episode with our next clip reel, which is basically Drew versus Latoya throughout the season. They have gone at it so many times this season. At one point, I was just like, are they in on it? Or they have to be in on it. But after that, Andy asked Drew, like, what started this? And she says, well, you have to ask Latoya. And honestly, Latoya was the one who started this whole thing. And they keep talking about bad wigs this, bad wigs that. Like, Drew's wigs, they weren't all that. But they weren't like Katie from Potomac's wigs. Not like that was a tragedy. Like with Drew, it just wasn't expensive. You know? Or maybe I'm wrong in the comments. Ladies, let me know. Was Drew's wigs like really that bad? That bad. So Latoya is lying already. She says, I haven't been antagonistic. Girl, what? What? Have you seen the show? Or were you just drunk the entire time like you were on it? She said she mentioned the bad wigs, but once Drew attacked her husband and her marriage, that's when things were off limits. I mean, you still started though. So as they're talking, Drew's saying that she doesn't understand why her and Latoya haven't become friends because they have so much in common. They both have 3 kids. Now, Andy was asking, you have 3 kids? And I'm like, how does Andy Cohen not know this? But again, with Latoya, like I said, the entire season, she has not said anything about her life. So of course no one knows that she has 3 kids. 6, 4, and 1? Wow. You would think she has no kids the way she was out and about. I mean, it would have been nice to see, Latoya, the mother, on the show, but she came on the show with a different MO, I guess. So Kenya takes this moment to make this about herself, and then she tells Andy that Drew was attacking her wig line or whatever. Okay. I mean, I feel like Kenya was the one keying with Latoya about how bad Drew's wig was, and Drew saw that and was like, oh, okay, you trying to talk about my wigs? Let's talk about the wigs on your line. So, again, fair game. So the next reel is Kenya and Toya's weird relationship where Kenya was having this fake lesbian crush on her throughout the season. Kenya says she can't help but have like a little crush on Latoya, but right now in this moment, she's pretty disappointed in her for a number of reasons. And Latoya doesn't know why. I mean, it seems like she wasn't the best lackey for Kenya, and Kenya is upset about that. So Kenya is mad at Latoya for not having her back when she was a terrible host and everybody was calling her out on her shit. So now Kenya is backpedaling and pussy popping on this crush that she has on Latoya. She says she's never been around the puss. She's never smelled it. She's never seen her naked. Latoya's like, oh, I haven't seen you naked, Kenya. Like I said, this was just some fake TV fodder, mimicking, I guess, a bi-curious relationship. Now, Andy asked Drew's opinion on the relationship between Kenya and Latoya, and she's like, well, I thought that, there was something going on between them because of their interaction on TV. Fair. So then Latoya says, oh, well, Drew, me and you've had something. You've cheated on your husband with me. No one can take her seriously right now. Latoya looks like a loon right now. What is she even talking about? She said they kissed. Okay, so her kissing you is her cheating on her husband. So now Drew is saying she never kissed Latoya. I don't believe that. But she's sticking to her word, even though there's maybe witnesses on the panel that said they did. But it looks like Drew is going with, well, if the cameras didn't see it, it didn't happen. Now, I definitely think they didn't catch it on camera because messy producers would have rolled that footage. So now Latoya is being called out for spilling Kenya's tea to the other ladies about, her situation with Mark. And she says, well, I didn't know all the dynamics between the ladies. One minute it's a sisterhood and the other minute they hate each other. And then Kenya's like, stop right there. Latoya, you might be the youngest on the cast, but don't pretend like you're the dumbest. The way she is addressing Latoya like some type of minion just says a lot to me. But Kenya's right. Latoya knew what she was doing. She was trying to be messy. Then Kenya tried to say, you know what I've told you what these women have done to me. Really, Kenya? What about what have you done to a bunch of women that's been on this show? Like, she always pretends like she's the victim. That's why I just cannot get with her on this show. It really annoys me. Wow, Kenya just said Drew was groomed by Portia to like be her enemy. And I'm like, Kenya, what have you been doing with Latoya and how you've been using her against the other ladies? So I'm wondering, are Kenya and Latoya still friends, you know? Because it looks like they don't really have each other's backs right now. But anyway, they bring out Shamea and Marlo. Shamea, she's giving Cheryl Lee Ralph right now with a mix of Coming to America. Marlo, I mean, she's proud of her lipo and her body. Let her be proud of it. It's walking a fine line between tacky and nice. It just looks a little cheap. So now the stage is looking really full right now. And now that I got a better look of Shamea right now, that hair is just, it's a lot. It is a lot. Marlo's still trying to push that Monty storyline, isn't she? Shamea really does not see it for Marlo right now. She's just coming out the gate. Saying she's an auntie and that's that fresh out of lipo body. Now, I guess Shamea isn't the fan of Marlo right now, but she's kind of shaming surgery right now. That you fresh off the table. That's not nice. Fresh off the table? What is fresh lipo? Can they stop saying that? Is it a back injury or fresh lipo? I'm sorry, I'm being goofy right now. It's too early, I'm tired, I got 3 more videos to do. And to be honest, all these women have probably been on the table. All of them. So now the next reel is dedicated to Kenya's terrible hosting skills and how she brought her baby and everyone had a problem with it because they couldn't bring theirs. She said that she will not leave her kid in Atlanta when she's not there with the new nanny. Okay, I guess. And also, she doesn't have any family or friends to watch her kid, which I just think is sad. But then she tells Kandi that, like, Kandi, if you really wanted your baby to come, you could have, because she said that, oh, well, you brought a dick in a box. You can definitely bring your child. So what it seems like to me is it's a matter of production. And it's like an unsaid rule like, oh, don't bring your kids on this trip. A lot of people are just mentioning production. Yeah, this is a production's fault. It's probably not Kenya's fault. But it isn't fair that Kenya gets to bring her kid and also use her kid as a crutch to not hang out with the other women. Because at the end of the day, it's still work. You're still filming. So if she doesn't want to film a scene, she can just say, oh, well, I want to go upstairs and tend to my daughter. So yeah, I get why the other ladies were like rolling their eyes and annoyed by it. And you notice Andy wants to move on as soon as like anything about production is mentioned. So we have Kenya versus Portia part 704. And I'm guessing it's about mothering. And Kenya keeps talking over Portia, and after Kenya answers the question and Andy tries to move on, and Portia's like, oh, no, we're not gonna do that. Oh, did Kandi just check Andy? it looked like it. And of course Andy backs down like, oh, well, this is the person from Secaucus, it's not me. Okay, y'all vet all these questions, okay? It's you. So now we're on the whole private plane issue. And Kenya is saying that because of Brooklyn, it was just more financially feasible for her to take everyone on a jet. And Andy quickly says, not everyone. And she says, oh, well, I have Kenya more money. Okay, so now you have Kenya more money. Okay, all right. So they bring up Drew, like telling the other ladies about like how Kenya told her not to tell anyone else about the private jet. If Kenya would have told everyone about the private jet and her problem trying to find care for Brooklyn, stuff like that, I don't think the ladies would have mind. It's the thing, like, just keeping it a secret that you go on a private jet while you putting all these other women on a bus, especially for like, I think it was like 7 to 8 hours. Yeah, that would piss people off. A lot of things Kenya did could have been avoidable. I'm not just picking on this woman. Like, she's it looks like she's doing this shit on purpose. So Kenya is expressing her grievances with Drew throughout the season, how she tried to be her friend. Okay, girl. Kenya tries to throw a little bit of shade on Drew's weight, saying she was insecure about her body and her wearing Spanx. Now, anybody can see that that was shade thrown at Drew's weight, and if you say that's not, you're lying, and you're probably a Kenya fan. But anyway, Drew schools her on that she has a condition where she gains weight in her upper middle section. But Drew definitely shuts her down immediately, like clocks her. Because when you speak, you don't speak with knowledge. Lord, now here go to like the broke bitch accusations. And Drew's bringing up her box office draws out. Girl, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Lord, now they talking about Drew singing as they were doing their arguments. They're being silly right now. I could fast forward. So now we get to Cynthia's reel, and now she gets her chance to speak since she only had maybe like 4 words of dialogue in the part 1 reunion. So yeah, this is all dedicated to her storyline of getting married, of having a very irresponsible wedding during the peak of COVID and all the drama surrounding that. Damn, Andy just reading every mean question towards Cynthia right now. She said that, you know, she did everything she could without breaking the law. And I mean, at the end of the day, she was in Atlanta. And we all know how Atlanta is doing right now during the pandemic. They never even shut down. Hardly. New York is just coming back, and we don't fully open until July 1st. So yeah, Atlanta has always been open, so it's whatever for me. Cynthia also gives us tea that she has still not done any post-nuptial agreement. Okay, girl, you're gonna wind up just like how you were with Peter in that first wedding if you don't get that done. So the next reel we're on is Porsha and Kandi's relationship. I mean, if we remember correctly, they, you know, did not fuck with each other because of the whole Phaedra thing. It's been a long road to them being cordial again. And honestly, I like Kandi and Porsha better as friends than enemies. So Andy is asking the other women's opinion on Kandi and Porsha's friendship. And Marlo tries to imply that after the dungeon party, it seemed like they were friends out of some type of blackmail situation or something like that. You know, because Marlo is messy and she needs her moment. I'm guessing she's trying to say that Porsha is sucking up to Kandi because Kandi knows that she messed around with the stripper. That's what she's trying to say without saying that. So Porsha kind of just shuts it down in her own way, and she says that, Marlo, we're not talking about me and you relationship. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. So now at the filming of this reunion, Kandi and Porsha are cool. Now whatever happened afterward, dealing with that Black Lives Matter thing, is left to be determined for next season, whoever comes back. So now we are on the main event, which is the stripper gate, which I'm pretty sure like the whole part 3 is going to be dedicated to that. We have 10 minutes left in this, but honestly, this could have been a 2-part reunion. All the Housewives reunions don't have to be 3 episodes. The irony of Kenya saying, oh, you know, I was just able to let go and have fun. But when other ladies do it, yeah, it's slut shaming and it's a problem. So Andy then asked the question, something happened around the coffee table. We didn't get that on film. And then Porsha's like, well, LaToya did something on me. Like her head was right here. We all grown. Did she eat your pussy or no? That's the question. Her head was there. What was it doing? And even if LaToya did eat Porsha out, like they both are not in relationships. They just having some fun. This was not supposed to be on camera. No one's supposed to talk about it. But I'm like, hey, if you're on a reality show, I'm guessing you should expect that. Andy, stop it. Revolutionary and empowering. Oh, okay. Let's not go too far. Let's not make that cosmic reach, okay? Okay, now Marlo's saying this is all bullshit. And I want to call out Porsha right now. So Marlo wants to know, what did she do to be on the outs with Porsha? You kind of parlayed the information you had on Porsha to rekindling your friendship with Kenya. That's what I saw during the season. Like, you didn't fuck with Kenya at all, but when you saw that there was an opening to get, you know, Kenya's trust by having, I'm guessing, dirt on Porsha, and you tried to play 2 sides of the fence, that's what made you look dirty, in my opinion. Not Marlo trying to come for Portia's face when she is fresh off the table with her fresh lipo. Okay. It didn't bother Portia at all one bit either. It's crazy how Marlo just trying to just play dumb like she don't know what's going on right now. So she's still waiting on the answer from Portia saying, what did she do? Marlo called Shamia Shamila. And then now Shamila's like, stop saying my name with an L. Anywho, Portia's saying, Marlo, there was no issue between South Carolina and the pumpkin patch. And Marlo is dead set on saying, well, there was something that happened for you to turn on me like this. I'm a little confused by this. I really am. Are y'all confused? Because it seemed like Portia just trying to not give it life, and then Marlo is just like so mad and trying to make it into something. And now Marlo's saying she knows some extra tea. She knows everything that went on. So now she's trying to weaponize what she knows about Portia, and she's wondering why Portia don't fuck with her. And that's where the episode ends. And then we get a preview for next week. This was okay, I guess, but part 1 was way better. Yeah, I can't wait till this season ends, y'all. But yeah, other than that, I'll see y'all for the next few videos, because, yeah, I gotta finish out The Circle. I gotta finish out, I gotta do Married to Medicine. Oof, let me start now. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.